XRP is perfectly positioned and ready to climb higher. It is February 5th, 2025, Wednesday update. We got a lot to talk about, folks. The XRP ledger did have a halt yesterday, but while the ledger was down, that XRP price was going up. Love to see it. We're going to be talking about that XRP price, looking at the TA here. We got a couple different scenarios. Some folks talking about another breakdown below $2. Other folks noting how this is a similar pattern to last time we moved on up to an XRP all-time high. We're also going to be talking about the SEC waving that white flag, the hidden hand, waving that white flag. They are giving up 50 lawyers and much of the agency's resources now being deployed away from crypto. Chief Litigation Officer George Tenriro against Ripple, against Veritasium. Yeah, he's going to be moved on over to the IT department. This is what's happening at the SEC, while at the same time in the White House, in Congress, and with the regulators now working with our industry, we get further confirmation from this most recent interview with Stuart Alderoty, Chief Legal Officer of Ripple, that yes, Ripple is in touch, is in contact at the table with David Sachs, crypto czar. And the big takeaway from this interview was his note that David Sachs is inclusive, and not in the woke way, but in the way of it's not going to be a Bitcoin only reserve. This isn't a Bitcoin only conversation, folks. Get tapped in. This is the community here, one of the strongest communities in the cryptocurrency space, and we're growing rapidly. We appreciate you for stopping by. If you haven't hit that notification bell, you want to stay up to date. We got the new live schedule back in action Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern is when we're going to be back on our live schedules. Tuesday, Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you there. Now, let's rock and roll, folks. Everything's at ZachRector.com. XRP did halt, but what folks don't understand here, this is so normal on other blockchains, but in particular Bitcoin here, the issues that they've had, but because so few people are actually using it for payments, nobody even really notices. Neil Hartner, Senior Software Engineer on Ripple Payments, a huge shout out to Neil. He's a must follow. I really like his Twitter. He posts some funny stuff. He says, earlier today, the Bitcoin network failed to mine a new block for 88 minutes. This was the 21st time in 2025 that it took 60 minutes or longer for the Bitcoin network to mine a new block. He posts a link in the resource right here. And so 21 times so far this year, it's taken over an hour for the Bitcoin network to move forward. Now, for the XRP ledger, it was about 45 minutes to an hour where we halted by design. This is how it's set up to work. We leave at the last fully validated ledger, and then it took them about an hour to sync back up, and they pick up right where we left off. And it's very important to note here, your XRP, your meme coins, your Bitcoin maxi tiers were never in danger, were never exposed. The ledger wasn't moving forward. Nothing was happening on the ledger. So, folks are worried, 10 days of darkness, systems go out. What's going to happen with my XRP? It's going to be fine. When the systems come back on, the ledgers will pick up, the validators will pick up right where we left off. It's not a problem at all. Now, but this is what we're dealing with. This is the FUD that we've been dealing with here of late. And these are people that should know better. So you have to ask, are they playing stupid? Does this go deeper? What's their motive here for playing dumb like this? Corey Clipston should know better. And he's the, I think, CEO or co-founder of Swan, commenting on our CEO of the XRP ledger, which is Daniel from Casino Coin. And that's a joke. For those of you guys who don't know, there is no CEO of the XRP ledger. So Daniel was making some funny posts yesterday talking about how he was fighting Bitcoin maxis. He was fighting XRP maxis. He had to defend Ripple here recently. And he said, basically he felt like he was selling his soul to defend Ripple. He's been very critical of Ripple, and he actually removed Ripple from his UNL list of validators that confirm the network to prove that the XRP ledger was decentralized and that Ripple didn't control it. He calls himself the CEO of the XRP ledger. It's just a joke within the community. But that didn't stop Corey here. Wow. The sheer amount of stupid is stupendous. And that's the CEO. Now, Vet captured this one. I had to ask him. I said, no way that this actually happened. Vet says these are not serious people. I mean, this is what we're up against. These guys still think that we have a CEO of the XRP ledger. Or do they know better? Do they know better? And they just are that shameless about the XRP FUD that they're willing to spread. They're that threatened by us. while we're trying to work together. Hey, the clip was going viral yesterday of Chris Larson moving Bitcoin across the XRP ledger back in 2013. We showed you guys over a decade ago that we were ready to work together. You guys just want to keep on, coming at us while we're ready to work. Hey, XRP TA update, Steph is Crypto reminding us that the last time, this is only the third time in XRP's history that we've seen this weekly hammer candle. The last time XRP pumped 2,000%, back in 2013, we pumped 2,000%. This weekly hammer candle, the biggest liquidation event in the history of cryptocurrency is what it took for us to go below $2. Now we bought it back up very, very quickly. And I believe, 13 days later, 13 days after we had a big pullback in 2017 was when XRP went to its all-time high. XRP went from $1.20 to 40 cents in one day, daily candle, big liquidation event, and then 13 days later went to an all-time high. Are we looking at a similar setup here for XRP? Or are we going to break down below $2? I like to show you guys the good, the bad, the ugly, and boy, do I not want to see this. But we got to look at it. Coin's kid. I'm expecting a reversal pattern inside this box for XRP. I think we are in the C wave of an expanded flat correction. We have seen support so far off the 20 WEMA. If we do see that key support lost, that'd be the weekly moving average. If we do see that key support lost, I will be looking at a deeper correction in 5 ways to a minimal $1.64. $1.64. The problem that I have with that analysis is that we already cleared out all leverage. The max pain point was reached. They don't need to push it down to 260 again or $1.60. I'm getting confused now between $1, $2, $3. XRP's moving now. Just wait till we're moving dollars in a day. You guys ready for that one? You thought it was something watching your portfolio move by 50 cents in a day. Just wait till we're moving $5 in a day. The problem I have with this prediction of going back to, it's definitely possible, sure. We're going to have to see the alien invasion, 17 cities across the country, motherships above each one, for XRP to go that low. Or the largest liquidation event in the history of crypto, which took us down to about $1.70. We already did it. We already cleared out the leverage. And I think that we're about to move higher. Now, in the buy wall, you can go look at the order books for yourself too. The buy wall there at $2. And if we do go down to those levels again, the amount of liquidity coming in, the net flows that we will see come in at a $2 XRP, we already set up a floor. And even though XRP is down to 246 today, little pullback this morning on XRP, the setup remains intact when you zoom out. That the last time we've done these types of moves on XRP was right before we just did a massive pump. Now a 2,000% pump from here, that takes us to a pretty fun spot. We're talking $40 XRP. And if we just do half that, you're talking about a 10x, 1,000%, and you're talking about a $20 XRP. That's not bad at all. Wouldn't be complaining about that one at all. $20 to $25 XRP with XRP swinging a few bucks in a day. You guys ready for that one? It's time to lock in right now. Brad Gallinghouse, this is the adults in the room. Any criticism of today's press conference is absolutely missing the forest for the trees. Forest through the trees, right? Having the chair of Senate Banking, the chair of House Financial Services, the chair of Senate Ag, and the chair of House Ag join the crypto czar to commit to passing legislation for crypto clarity is 100% a big deal and something we haven't seen before. Now, this is David Sachs responding with that target, that bullseye. We are directly over the target. And I'm going to play a clip here of Stuart Alderoty also confirming in a most recent interview that they are in contact with David Sachs and that David Sachs is inclusive, is not just a Bitcoin show in this White House right now. Real quick, Eleanor Terrett with the scoop here this morning. A report from Wall Street Journal says that the SEC has reassigned its chief litigation counsel, George Tenriro. This guy just got promoted to that chief litigation officer or counsel, right? Chief litigation. Now we're moving him over to the agency's IT department. He played a key role in the Ripple and Coinbase lawsuits, also in the Veritasium lawsuit, in the Veritasium community, along with Reggie Middleton, has put out a big expose on George Tenriro. Now, we're watching, yesterday it was announced that 50 plus lawyers are going to be moved away from crypto enforcement cases. And I don't know where we're going to send them, but they ain't going to be coming after the crypto projects that are trying to do legitimate things here in this country. It's time where the adults in the room are taking control. And really the patriots are taking control is what this is. When I listened to Brad, when I listened to Stu, earlier in this interview with Stu, the full clip's about 9 minutes. I'm just going to play about a minute and a half. You listen to him explain how they're trying to move even more of their hiring now back to the United States. Right? They went global and they've been expanding globally, but now 75% of their open roles are for the US, and they're trying to bring more back to the US. The other thing too, I forgot I was going to pull up this clip real quick. I just saw somebody had posted this on how close. This is Phil Kwok. Check this out real quick, guys. Not many people know this, but for anyone wondering how close Ripple is to the White House, Dom and I were at Ripple headquarters recently in San Francisco, and it's literally around the block from the Crypto Czar's office. So there we are. Craft Ventures, right next to Ripple. This is in San Francisco. So we're right there, right next to the Crypto Czar. Now in DC, we also have, Ripple has the office set up there as well. And they've set up a new headquarters in New York as well too. That's where they're going to be ready with standard custody to custody, help the banks custody, right? They're positioned perfectly. XRP positioned perfectly. And just think about what Stu is going to show you and confirm for you right here in this interview. You gotta check this out. He comments on how David Sachs is inclusive into the fact that he's willing to talk to Ripple, that they're in contact, and you'll see his response too. No hesitation. Yeah, we're right there. We're right there. There's no hesitation. And I was listening to Stu, and gosh, man, the guy, when he's locked in, when Stu gets locked in, I was listening to him talk. I had like a heart palpitation. It's like, holy cow, this guy is locked in. Imagine being on the other side of the bench from him. You know, imagine being on the other side in a case in the courtroom from Stu. This guy, he's the real deal. Listen in here, folks. Here he is on CNBC. I think this was aired yesterday. And a huge shout out to Bank XRP on YouTube, on X. Bank XRP must follow. Take a listen in on this one, folks.
So new tariffs announced this weekend are raising concerns of a global trade war. We've seen the crypto market in sell-off mode since then. But what are the implications for crypto firms? Or is this just more of a de-risking moment and no real blowback for the industry long term?
Well, I think anytime folks get distracted in crypto by short-term market swings, that's a distraction. I think what the
And I wanted to play that clip first right there too, to also pick up and note on that he's talking about all this noise, all this short-term price action, all this playing around. That's all a distraction from what we're doing, sitting down here with the president of the United States, sitting down with the biggest institutions. Meanwhile, we got folks that are playing around with a little 5-minute chart on their XRP. This is a different game. Yeah, we're at a different level here.
The industry needs to do is focused on building utility, building real world use cases, building adoption, and building on the momentum to get those clear rules of the road. Ripple, as I said, we've been around for over 12 years. We've seen crypto winters, crypto springs, crypto summers. We've seen it all. We're not distracted by that. We're focused on building real world enterprise use cases that can be adopted now in the United States.
So you mentioned David Sachs a moment ago. He's working closely with the White House as its new crypto and AI czar. He says he plans to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. Have you or Ripple been involved in that initiative? Have you spoken with Sachs or other members of this new council about what we might expect to see in the months ahead?
Yeah, so we know David Sachs. We have been in communication with David Sachs. He, I think, is thinking about this thing the right way, and he is inclusive. He's looking for the industry to partner, a private-public partnership, to partner with the U.S. and with the administration and with the regulators to decide what do we need to do to really make this happen. So yes, we have been in contact with David Sachs. I imagine others have been in contact with David Sachs. We know him. We think he's the right person for this job.
Ready to be inclusive, ready for a private-public partnership. And this is what I talked about in regards to the digital asset stockpile and the sovereign wealth fund. You have this public-private partnership where really you let the private sector take control. The public gets out of the way. And David Sachs here, right around the corner from Ripple, but I don't think that they're going to be meeting in San Francisco as much as they're going to be meeting in DC, as Ripple set up shop there, 2.5-hour lunch or dinner, beef bourguignon, of course, 2.5-hour dinner at the table with the president, in contact, communicating. We know David Sachs working closely. And the key takeaway there that I want to share with you guys is that he's inclusive. This isn't just a Bitcoin show. So stay locked in, folks. Tap in with us. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you could like the video for me, I'd greatly appreciate that. Stay tuned for the next update. I'm about to record this HBAR update, my 2025 crypto coin reviews. We got a new playlist on YouTube, so make sure you guys check that one out. HBAR Deep Dive comes next. I'll see you guys in the next update. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.